Who recognizes this video off my YouTube channel? Sam Picture Files. I decided I was going to make me a short video real quick. See that comment I got? Soundtrack by Philip Glass, said that person. And here's my description. Oh, there we go. Just for fun, homemade track, this video, blah 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 blah. It's a made up music track. So, I was fascinated to see that this feller said, soundtracks by Philip Glass. Said he who put a comment on there. Well, I actually looked up Mr. Philip Glass, is a very renowned American, wait, let me go back over here. Well, I actually looked up Mr. Philip Glass, a very renowned American music composer person. See, there he is. Philip Morris Glass. That's nice. Well, I felt a little bit flattered. Somebody thought my silly homemade music was actually a famous composer. Music stuff. That's what it says. Where'd it go? Did I forget to make a new tab? Now how did I do that? I made a new tab. Where'd it go? What? I got me confused. Oh, there it is. Finally. This video's taking longer than I wanted it to take. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that, okay. So anyways, I'm gonna mount the camera over here and then make a short video. Okay. There we go. Hello again. So, I was thinking, as I said, I was a little flattered that somebody thought that was an official composer piece. Oh, but then I thought, you know, the way the internet is, I don't trust anyone unless they can prove what they say. And I thought to myself, well, I got to looking around on internet stuff, and I look here, and I look there, and I look all over places. And my story sounds pretty much like a story. My life is a story. Actually, it is true. And I came up with a way that I can actually prove it. I actually did come up with a way to prove it. And as the story goes, I learned that I could imitate things, which I renamed replication later on, because it goes beyond imitating if you can make an exact copy of stuff. Sorry about that. I learned that I could do that when I was 3 by watching an excavator, and then I began to mimic everything the excavator did. That was step 1. And then there was trains and fire engines and police cars. And I was in Germany, so The first thing I learned how to imitate wasn't what most people think of. No, it was more... Yeah, that. I still like that. Fond memories. Anyways, after that I went and sang in orchestra with other children, because everyone who was in the army, that was really small, so I was like, small. And they go to places where army people take care of army kids, stuff like that. So I went and saw an orchestra. And that is what led to my ability to talk. Because I found this interesting little talent, I suppose you call it, where I liked the music so much, I took what I learned from excavators, fire engines and trains, which back when, like I said about the police and the fire engine and all that, actually the trains that I learned from, they went trains I learned from. Yes, they have different trains now. Everything was different back then. It was kind of nice. So anyway, I thought I'd throw that in. It's not the train you're thinking of, like the modern one. Nope. The ones I learned from, they made whistling sounds. I like to whistle better myself. To each his own. I try to keep my brain on track, by the way, so I paused for a minute, find out where I was going. Momentary pauses. Oh, the orchestra, right, yes. Because I learned how to mimic and imitate, and finally, eventually, I replicated the sounds I heard. Then I heard the orchestra, and I learned that I like the music. Yes, I like the music. It was very enjoyable. I like all the different scores, and I listened to every single individual instrument. But very sad to report to you, internet people, due to the malfunction with the anthrax vaccine in the United States Navy. That's why I get to wear United States Navy hat. It's lovely, metals, nice. Very nice. I got this because it's much better to wear a hat instead of a coat in the middle of summer. I put my navy coat away, unless I really feel like wearing it. You know, so I feel like being hot. I wear it when I go shopping. It's fun. I figured I earned the right to be a veteran, since I gave everything I had, did the job as best as I possibly could. And then there was a terrible brain malfunction, which broke everything. And I still don't feel like it was my fault, because nobody got in my eyeballs right here. That's where you explain things to me. Right in front of my eye. You got to talk to my eyeballs. That way I'm actually picking up everything. Nobody actually communicated to me that I was autistic, and that I was born an autistic person. And through unique abilities, I sort of escaped out of the little autism stronghold, you know. The guy that ran out the back door. Hey, he just got away. Because I didn't make any, you know, conversations of talking words and stuff. That didn't happen until I was 5 years old. It was the orchestra. And it was very beautiful, like this. And then they had the higher string instruments. And I recall now the whole thing about the anthrax United States Navy had here. Now I remember. I do apologize. My focus, it doesn't work very good anymore. That's why I don't work in the Navy anymore. I can't stay on something. That was the loss of a lot of instruments. That's what that was. So, you know, just put that out there so we don't run around the bush again. Run around a bush too many times, you make a track around it, you know. Kill all the grass around the bush. So anyway, yeah, I've yet to recover the saxophone and the one instrument. I always forget what the silly thing's called, but it goes like this. Womp, 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 something. I had a saxophone, I had that thing, I had a tuba. My favorite of all, I still have, I've always had my entire life, trumpet. And just trying to think. What's one of those military things? You know, one of my favorite was always the cavalry, because I used to ride horses in the Old West. Yeah, and it's always fun to hear when they did that on TV. And it would be like, yeah, I always like hearing that. That's cool. And when I got a bit older, I got a little clock radio thing that sat next to my bed, and that's where I got most of my instruments, which gives me an idea. I should look for one of those channels on radios I have. There might be one out there somewhere. I used to listen to a jazz channel. It played jazz music all night long. And that's the fun thing about my brain. If you keep putting something in my brain non-stop, it will more than likely, 9 out of 10, it will replicate exactly what it hears. That's where I get a lot of my fun characters and things. I watched a SpongeBob marathon all day long. And all of a sudden, by the end of the day, I found out I could talk like Patrick. I was like, hey SpongeBob, you wanna go jellyfishing? Yeah. Yeah, so maybe if I find another jazz channel, I could get some more jazz music. Because I only have a trumpet now, but it's pretty cool. I love jazz trumpet, that's fun. So, how do I prove to the people that leave comments and say, hey, that's somebody else's music track. Well, I do really appreciate the flattery. You think my made-up noise is actual music? Yay! That's really cool. Up until that point, I thought it was just noise, and I put it on YouTube just because I could. I didn't really figure people would actually listen to it, because, I don't know, most people listen to real music, and I thought, this is just made up music. So, never thought somebody would say that I was lying. That's not made up, that's from this guy. I already forgot. What was his name? Ow! I hit my knee. Oh, Philip Glass. My goodness. I have to say a name about 10 times before it actually sinks in. Philip Glass. You think I wouldn't forget that? It's really common. Philip and Glass. Anyways. So, a bit of a musical score, and I will add a little something to it that will absolutely prove that it's from me. So, I thought first, I'll play with the vocal cords here. You want to hear the vocal cords because it'll take it back to the raw sound. See, that's what the vocal cords do, but then you have to shape it, and then you have to add a certain specific amount of wind. You gotta get the wind just right. If you don't, it won't sound correct. That changes it from noise to the string thing that you hold. As I was saying before, the hat, always the hat, yes. Brain damage, can't remember anything. I used to know what that was. It's a big thing with a string on it. I don't know hardly anything anymore. That's why they put me in the disability place, and they give disability money to Mummy, which she buys me stuff. Yay! I don't get my own money. I get bulldozers. Yes. The technical people, they, you know, they sort of scowl. It's construction equipment. It's the only one with a blade on it. Well, I think they should all be called bulldozers. Construction equipment. It's a long, chunky word. It's not enough that it's long, it's chunky. Construction equipment. I think I'm choking. Anyway. Bulldozer. You see, it flows. There's more of a flowing. It's a nice sounding word. Of course I call them bulldozers. It sounds fun. Sounds like we're gonna bulldoze something. So, anyways, yes, I call them bulldozers, and these are my bulldozers. That's an excavator, and that's a grater, and I call them all bulldozers. I like being incorrect. No, as a matter of fact, I don't care. Yes. I really don't care. Because I'm not allowed to work anywhere, so it doesn't matter anymore. Now then, on to the topic of my video. If you don't mind, you see I'm spooling up the information. I need a musical track, that's what I need. Let's see, that sounds good. Now, how do I prove that came from me? I came up with a way. Watch this. Pretty neat. That was a cool idea. I thought so. You are watching crescendo. Aha! There is no musical score on planet Earth, besides what I just invented, that has Autism's Lost Boys channel in it. Why would anyone make a song with Autism's Lost Boys channel in the song it came from? Yes, I made it up. Now you've got it. And now I've got internet proof. No, I did not put a musical track and claim it was mine. Because if I did, that would be lying. And it would also be stealing. Right. You can't take somebody's stuff and say it's yours. Because if you do that, when I was little, if you take somebody's thing and say, this is my thing, then you get a really big spanking. And you go back to that person's house and say, here's your thing back. It's not mine. That's lying and it's stealing and it's wrong. Of course I wouldn't say somebody else's song was my song that I made up unless I made it up. But, see what else we can get going here. There's a lot of problems with getting the brain, you know, connected with nerves and stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So, I like to pour water down my throat and see which chords I can feel. And those are the chords that are available. Now, what if I put that in a higher score? I was just wondering about that. Yeah, maybe I could do that. I think I probably could. Yes, I think I could. What was I talking about? Practicing for my future. Anyway. I love doing that. Let's see. What if I made an opera song? Who wants to hear an opera song? How many minutes has gone by? 21:24. You may wonder, why are my eyes off to the side of the camera? That's because you're here, but my screen is over here. I have a screen. I'm watching myself. I'm already on TV. I never thought about that, but does that make any sense? Because they say you're on TV. What's television? Is that the box in the wall? Or does that mean you're on a screen? I never thought about that. You know, nobody updated that. Because television, they only had one box that had pictures, motion pictures on it. And now they me pick this thing up and we can watch stuff on here. Yeah. Just, that's a demonstration. This doesn't do anything. Mr. Old-Fashioned got himself a telephone. Mr. Old-Fashioned. Yeah, try on too dumb to figure out that fancy stuff. You know, that's like, what do they call that? Hypothetical or something? Hypocritical? No. That's a totally different topic. It sounds exactly the same, but it's a totally different word. You know, they sound the same. Very easy to get confused. Anyway, I was talking about being dumb. Is what I was talking about. I think I just proved the point, but anyway. Anywho, I mean, that only applies to certain areas. Like a super duper fancy phone. If I want to call somebody, and I gotta like push the button, because I got to use my friend's fancy phone, like I said, this is just a telephone. When I was using his, he's like, hey, look at this. I put this one thing on the screen, I go 3 pages off in some other direction. He's like, hey. He's like, where's that video I was gonna show you? I'm like, I tried to play it, I don't know where I am now. And he's like doing this and putting and push, 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 flip, flip, push, push. He's like, all right, here, I'll play it. Don't touch anything. I was like, oh, how did I get 3 pages the other way? I don't know. This way and that and that and that. So, I have a telephone. It calls people. That's all it does. There's no possibility of me getting lost in there. But, as I was saying previously, I was just wondering to myself, what's classified as television? Is that just the box that goes in your living room, or your bedroom, or your RV, or... Oh, brother. Man, that's some really confusing conversation. Gee. Anybody wonder why I'm so old-fashioned? Man, things were so not complicated back then. Because a TV was a TV, rocking chair was a rocking chair. And you had a bicycle, it was just a bicycle. Like my bicycle. It's nice, got fenders on it. It's nice. Nowadays you can get a bouncy springy bicycle, or a really, really bouncy springy bicycle, or a thin tire bike, or a big wide tire bike, or a knobby bicycle, or one with disc brakes. Yes, everything is complicated now. You even got motorized bicycles. You can get one with a motor. Yes. I do kind of like the old-fashioned time. There was one radio, there was one TV. Almost everybody had the same thing. They had about 3 or 4 models of everything, you know. That was it. So nice. So unconfusing. Well, getting on with my video. I hate to bore people. Half the audience fell asleep.
Hey, wake up! Hey, the video's not over yet! Hey!
Anyway. That's pretty much what I do. I amuse myself all day. Ain't nothing else to do around here. I watch TV. And I laugh at stuff on TV. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Ever since my brain got knocked backwards, I have a whole lot more fun. I don't even know how to be serious. That's why I got this hat. Ooh. See, the person that used to do this job right here, man, that dude was like a board, like a piece of plank or something. I was very serious. Non-emotional, yes. I was far more autistic back then than I am now. Actually, when everything got all messed up, I got less autistic in some areas. More autistic in this area, less autistic in that area. Somehow I found the emotional switch. Hey, check this out. Now I started playing with emotions. It was fun. I remember those days. I would just produce any emotion I wanted. It was so fun. I could have pursued an acting career. I thought that would be so cool. I was like, yes, I can be an actor because I can just manufacture anything I want. And then I found out actor people have all these people going, oh. I didn't find that too appealing. And then they have all this, flash, flash, flash. I found that very unappealing. And then they write mean stories about you. And I found that extremely unappealing. And I decided not to be anything that's famous. So I have a tiny YouTube channel. I only made a YouTube channel because people are like, what's autism? I wonder. And there are all these different ideas, and I thought, you know, I've been autistic my entire life. And I've been on several different levels, I suppose you call it. As I was saying, I started out saying nothing. I said nothing. I did nothing. My hobby was bashing my head into the wall. That's why I have such a thick head. Like, hey, are you understanding anything yet? No, I'm too thick-headed. That was an old-fashioned joke. Of course. The modern people are not laughing. What? Well, I was raised round elder folks. I thought it was wonderful. Because Mommy took me to church, and the church people said, if you're going to be in church, you have to serve other people. I do. Yes, you must go to elder people's homes and talk to them, you know, sing songs to them, and listen to everything they have to say. Well, I was blessed to get around the really chatty elder people, or perhaps I picked out the really chatty ones. Probably picked them out myself. I like to listen to stuff. And they taught me so much. They taught me so much I don't fit in with the modern world. And I decided I like their world better. So I'll just hang out there and enjoy the fun. Fancy shirts, proper dress, morals, ethics, integrity, honesty. Yep, everything has to be 100% honest. Which, that's probably the most fun thing ever. Because you can be truthful, but only tell part of the truth. So, I told the truth, but, well, not the whole thing. So, to be honest, you have to tell everything. That's a step above being truthful. So, that's where I hang out. It makes life so much easier. Nothing to be rude or anything. I'll get around, you know, regular type people, and they'll say this one thing, and then their eyeballs are saying something else, and then their face is saying something else. And then, if you try to, you know, follow along with what their mouth is saying, they get all mad and angry at you because they didn't actually mean what they said, you know. I was like, why didn't you just say what you mean? I was like, dude, I'm so confused. Your face is saying 6 different things. Never mind the rest of the whole body. I don't know. it's a disaster if you ask me, you know? You go up to somebody like, how are you doing? I'm great! That's what their mouth is like, oh, I'm great! And their eyes are like, and they're like this, and they're like, oh, I'm great! Yeah, everything's wonderful! Yeah! And then you're all like, oh, that's wonderful, great! And you're like, then they just kind of scale you. Like, okay, not the reaction I was expecting. On the other hand, are you being sarcastic? I hate sarcasm. It's very confusing. So, yeah. That puts me on the morals, ethics, integrity, honesty. That's where my brain can actually go, I understand what's going on now. I don't have the processing abilities to figure out this, you know, multi-dimensional human being-ish stuff. Other people, yeah, you watch other people around and they, you know, they totally get it. They're like, oh, I know exactly what you mean. I'm like, hey, I was just going by what you said. Although, the rest of your face was really confusing me. But I don't understand what that means. So I just go by what you say. You say it, that's it. I don't have enough processing stuff, you know. I think there's some onboard parts missing there. Because other people, they just, you know, hey, I get it. And I'm like, I don't. I don't understand a thing. But, getting back to a long time ago, I was wondering if I could turn that simple little phrase into an opera. You know, just to surprise people. Surprise! I have a really deep voice. But that is not the surprise. The surprise is because as a young child I did the whole musical instrument thing. I pressed and put and stretched and mapped and figured out every single square inch of bit of, you know, tiny things of my vocal cords. Mapped them all out. And I exercise them constantly because I like making noise. Especially the one sound that nobody else liked, which kind of made me giggle because I was like, ah! So I like to go around making that terrible sound. And people go, ugh, what? Stop it! You can get away with all kinds of fun stuff when you're little. If I know more about that when I was little, I would have done a whole lot more. And I would have got more spankings. Yes! I think I got enough spankings, so I did enough. I had enough fun. About that surprise, you know, the whole vocal cord thing, I'm building up suspense. What's going to happen next? The surprise. Are you ready? You know, I was doing the violin or something. I don't know if they have more than one instrument that goes on your shoulder. I know the violin, so I did the violin. I also do the trumpet. There's an interesting fact about why I can do that. And here is the surprise. Oh! of the few boy peoples that can go high pitched. And you know, sometimes I still like doing that because people just look like, what the? Why are you doing that? That is what girls are supposed to do, eh? Well, it's in the vocal cords. Anybody can do that. Play with your vocal cords. I do anything that the vocal cords can do. So, because it's on board, it's installed, it's programmed, and it's hooked up to the CPU, the main CPU up there, I can do that. And I don't care about doing that because it's on board, you know. That's the installed hardware software thing, you know. Not, you know, because I was thinking, you know, that people say, that's what girls do, it's only girls, but I'm a boy and it's installed, so it can't be just for girls. This is illogical. If you ask me, it's for laughs. So, that's what I was thinking of, doing a little sentence in an opera form. Just for fun. So, let me see. I need to put that together. You are watching a laugh for me. Surprise! I told you, it was a surprise. You see why I have so much suspense? It's like, what is he going to do? Surprise. What? How else do you make a violin and a trumpet? You got to have high vocal cords. Nobody, you know, I do the trumpet for other people. They're like, hey, that's pretty cool, and they never take a second thought to say, you gotta, you know, you need some high vocal cords to pull that off. Yes, the same vocal cords that make trumpet noises also do opera. I don't like opera, by the way. But I like to make people go, huh? Especially back when I had this big beard. I wear this big beard and be like, oh, what the? I'm like, hehehe, made you look. So I can also sing very low. I like to sing very much. Yes, yes, indeed. So, you see, when you're watching my channel on YouTube, that's why I have a channel on YouTube. As I was saying about the autism stuff, and I saw, you know, different things, I thought, you know what? You don't got the full package. Of course, there's bad things about autism. There's also good things about autism. I don't know too many other places that you can find good things about autism. It was a good thing that I didn't start out talking because I learned how to bend and shape sound. And that led to my ability to talk, which it's very, very simple. You will never hear about talking from anybody else, I don't think, because I always add that part. I don't think so. You will hear from somebody else. This is how my mind does the whole talking thing. See, there's noise, which is like reverberating, fluttering thing, and sound is like a flowing thing. So when I think about sound, it's like a flowing water motion liquid. That's very nice. Now how do I turn that into words? I figured it out very long time ago. I tried to think. I think it was because I picture in my mind, I was trying to get the rest of it. All I see, I can't seem to see anything else. I see the big jar. You know, the big jar with the pot on it, and it's full of iced tea. Got iced tea in it. So you've got the liquid tea, and then you've got the frozen ice cubes. Well, when one of these ice cubes was put on the regular surface, it turned into liquid. And it's, aha! I got it! I understand now. You can take liquid sound and freeze it into an ice cube. In the frozen sound. And that's where I get my idea that words are boring. Because you take all that beautiful, wonderful sound and you freeze it solid. Blah, 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 blah. When instead you could have blah, 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 blah. It's so much nicer. Yes, I remember the big iced tea jar and the melting ice cube. I wonder if that's why I kept chewing ice for half my life. There's something about that ice cube. I have this weird way of attaching myself to things. I later found out I wanted a Volkswagen Beetle. A cream color, yellow cream color Volkswagen Beetle. I always want one of those. You know when I stopped wanting a yellow cream color Volkswagen Beetle? That's when I found out that my best friend, who is named Bear, is a really big black dog. He was, I don't know about the transaction, too small. All I know is these two people is a husband man and a wife woman, you know, married people, husband and wife. Because I don't even know if they were married, come think of it. Oh, I was just guessing. Oh, okay. When I say a boy and a girl that were all grown up, I'll put it that way, that'll work. A boy and a girl that were all grown up, they took the dog and they put it in a cream yellow color Volkswagen Beetle. That's why I wanted the Volkswagen Beetle. Actually, I wanted the dog. So, yeah, I stopped wanting Volkswagen Beetle because I thought, I'm not going to get a dog back, I'm just going to have an old car. I got to work on all the time. That doesn't sound fun. So, when I was in the Navy, I got a bicycle instead. A $400 bicycle! If somebody walks up and says, why would you get a $400 bicycle? Why? Because I'm in the Navy and I can afford it. But you could get, you know, just any bicycles. And I could if
I'm in the Navy. I got lots of money. Why not? Why not get a $400 bicycle? It was a beach cruiser, Dynaglide.
If only I could remember the name of it. All I remember is Dynaglide. When you put the pedal about this far, you just kind of zzz, and it rolls for 5 blocks. It rolls and rolls and rolls. You spend, let me see, guessing, I'll say about 85% perhaps. Spend, you know, so much time just doing this. And you finally start to slow down. You a bit more pedal. And wow, that's so much fun. And the big flat tires. Yeah, let's see, let's start here. Nope. Yeah, right about there. Not that wide. Them tires was so fat. And they was huge. They come all the way up. Let's see if this was the ground. Oh yeah, they'd be right about here. This is right about here. But well, I found out why it was called a beach cruiser. The tires are so round. See, I hate talking words. Ever since I got nerve damage on my cheeks, or, well, I can't clarify if it's nerve damage. Nobody's actually proven it. My mouth don't form correctly. Most of the time, if I'm not paying attention, I'll actually chomp into my cheeks. They get in the way of my teeth. Like, hey. That's creepy. Anyways, I was saying round. I was trying to say round. It was really round, and the tires were really wide. So when I went to pedal it on the beach sand, it just went right across. Vroom. It goes through the squishy sand, and then down into the surfy sand, and then onto the beach surf part. It can pedal on any sand. I was thinking squishy's like a different description though. That's what I was thinking the whole time. More like a poofy sand. You know, it's all dry and kind of it makes a sound. Yeah, the sand. I don't know what that's called. It might go with poofy. Like, that sort of sand. Yeah. I know the down where the water is, you call that sand stiff. Because you step on it, it's like that would be stiff. The opposite of stiff. I haven't a clue. I forgot. Oh well. So, hey, how many minutes have I gone? Wow, 51 minutes. Does anybody like watching videos? Because I don't mind talking a lot. I mean, it's kind of fun. I can just sit here and talk to the camera. The camera's like, you know, doesn't even blink. I mean, I go over there and push the shutter. Blink, blink. Well, actually, I was thinking to myself, yeah, watching myself on the screen there, it's like watching myself on television, which I already went over that earlier. I don't know what television is anymore. It used to be a box. It was a box, it was glass, and it sat in the living room. And, you know, it migrated to the bedroom, the RV, the camper. And, well, today, now it's on your telephone. The telephone, by the way, left the wall. It flew away! That's the way they make them now. She's like a bird. Oh, there it goes. No strings attached, it just flew off. Yes, everything got so confusing. But I'm watching myself on a screen. I know that's a fact. That's called a screen. That's called a camera. I can go with that. That makes it fun. I pretty much run out of stuff to talk about. I think I was a little bit concerned about secret. I don't know if I should mention that or not. That's part of the whole autism thing. On the channel. I'm still on a debate whether it's proper or improper. I'm still working on that one. But, I guess for now, I just say, you know, disabled, brain damage, things not working correctly, all sorts of problems. It's sad. Well, got some diaper issues to attend to. That does sound funny though. So, I figure I'll just end my video. As always, I like to say, I'd come up with one further idea. It'd be real quick. I just got this new idea. If anybody's still watching, if anybody's still watching, then it actually matters for something. If not, well, at least I had fun saying it. I was thinking about replicating stuff, and then all the stuff that I grew up and learned and everything, and I thought, a lot of times in my videos, you might notice different, it's not usually voices, but accents. I seem to have a really hard time with accents. Because it's like a hobby inside my brain. It likes to, you know, practice things repetitively. And one of my abilities, which goes beyond just doing different voices and whatnot, is accents. Like I could talk like a British person. If you would like a spot of tea, you could come down here and I'll give you a spot of tea at tea time. Precisely at tea time. But, however, one of my favourite accents is the Australian accent. It's like, hey, good day there, mate. Oh, you're going down here, there, back, all right over there. Right, the kangaroos and the wallabies, right, yeah. Try to think of Australian things to say. Because, I usually just say normal things with accents. That's been a long while. Let me see if I can pull out a genuine Australian accent. Things get all misfiled these days. Let me see. I think there's oh, good day there, mate. Let's go. Oh yeah, right. Well, I can't think of anything. That's terrible. Oh well. I like doing Australian though. Right there, mate. There's you going. Right there, right, yeah. I've got an Australian hat because I went to Australia. But, no, usually, due to some malfunctions, The most common accent I have is as British and Australian. You've got the two put together, and then you've got a Brit-Australian. That's the first time I've ever used that word. It's cool. A Brit-Australian. Yeah, right, it's like a Brit-Australian. It's like an Australian and a British person stuck, mushed all together like mashed potatoes. Oh, what happened? I don't know. Ah! Well, yeah, that's usually what I've got now. I think it sounds pretty cool though. I started using that more often because people could actually understand it better than if I tried to talk with a normal American accent, which is pretty much blah. Like, hi, I'm an American. I don't know how to talk. What is an American? America's made of mixed people. So, how are you supposed to talk like an American? I don't know. I still haven't figured that one out. Me actual blood heritage is Irish. So if I be talking in me native language, let me see if I can pull that out. I'd say, "Oi, top of the morning to you, lad. How's it going there?" Top of the morning to you, lad. Yeah. Hey, top of the morning to you people. How's it going there? I see you behind the camera there. I can't see you physically, but I can pretend like you're there. Aye, yes. That is my native language, Irish. Yes, Irish I am. My grandmother was Irish. She come from the island of... Did I say island? I was trying to say... location! Apparently I forgot what it's called. All I could come up with is Ireland. Yes, it rhymes with Ireland. Ireland is an island, I think. If I recall, I have to look at a map to remember. I don't hardly remember anything. Anything I want to know, I have to look at it. Oh! And it seems to float away within a matter of minutes. Oh, hey! Where'd it go? Yep. So, yeah, I thought I'd briefly explain that. If you catch a bit of an accent, 1, I'm Irish. 2, I got the whole Brit-Australian thing going. I can't seem to remember the actual Australian. It was such a long time ago. I was in Australia in 1999. Yeah, that's what my old man was. It was about 1999 it was. It was a long time ago. You know, it's already 2011. Yeah, where's the time go? I don't know. I was still wondering where my teeth went. I don't find my teeth. Oh, they're in my mouth. No wonder I couldn't find them. I must have put them in without paying any attention. Oh, sorry about that. What was I talking about? I've actually been doing the imitation of an old person since I was 10 years old. I actually started that one a long time ago, yes. And there was that, the British hunter, yes. I was just out hunting wallabies and, wait a minute. No, it's the thing with long legs. What do they call that? Darn, I can't do my voices. Wallabies. Where would you get a wallaby in Africa? I know, it's the furry animal with long legs. It's like a deer, but not a deer. I don't know. No. I'm sorry. That's why I started making nonsense videos. I figured if anybody wants to watch them, that's their choice. You can watch all you want. I don't make very much sense anymore, so I went, I forget how many months. Months after months after months. I was trying to make a good video that I could put on YouTube, something that would actually make sense, and then I finally realized I don't make sense, so I can never make a good video, ever. Why? What? Hey, try to remember some fun stuff I used to do. Yeah, anybody watching this video, have fun! Just don't knock yourself out. It might hurt. Right. Oh, I know. One thing about the accent that I used to watch, my favorite show was Top Gear. It was on BBC. I loved to listen to the way they talked on Top Gear, and I seem to have watched too much of it because I seem to have absorbed Jeremy Clarkson's personality. I don't know how that happened. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know. But I like doing Jeremy Clarkson because he talks very interestingly. He's got a British accent. He usually gets frustrated with everything. What is that now? What is it trying to do me? I don't know. Shut up! Shut up! How do you turn it off? Be quiet, you! Stupid sat-nav! That was fun. I learned all about English stuff. Like, vans over in Britain are called people carriers. That's fantastic. They should do that in America. People carriers. That's original. I love it. Most of what they do actually makes sense though. You know, from petroleum you get petrol. So they call it petrol. And in America they call it gasoline. I don't know where we got that word from. We call it gas. It's like someone just farted. I don't know. Gas. I think because the distillation process turns it into a gas. But then it turns back into a liquid. But then when it explodes, it turns into gas. So, if we wanted to be technical, I think we could call it gasquid. It's a gas in a liquid. Gasquid. You can change the name from gasoline to gasquid. And now it sounds like something in the ocean. Nice. I did like the petrol though. That made a lot of sense. It's from petroleum, of course. Short for petroleum. That's what it's made from. That makes sense. Some of the other things was that a truck is called a lorry, and the trunk is called the boot, and in front of the car you've got a windscreen. That makes perfect sense, by the way. A windscreen. Keeps the wind off you. That's why they use windscreen wipers over there. They don't have any windshield wipers, so if you try to buy a windshield wiper in Britain, you won't find one. You can only buy windscreen wipers there. And I love the boot. gonna give somebody the boot, I think it means you throw him in the trunk. It's old mafia term. What else is fun? Let's see. Well, instead of GPS, by the way, it's called sat-nav. Satellite navigation, of course. What other parts of the car? I mostly know the names for parts of cars because I was watching Top Gear. It's all about cars. I think I've lost stuff there. Oops. Well, excuse the CD-ROM. It goes out quite often. It reminds me when I had this older computer. You put the disc in it. It goes. And then you like using it, and all of a sudden it goes. You just never know when the CD-ROM will stop reading the CD. You think, I was playing something. When there it went. Please insert the correct CD. It is! Please insert a working CD-ROM drive. I need one of those boxes. I did back then. I don't know. I've got a DVD writer. It's an RW with multi-layer and fancy light scribe. Yeah, that's nice. I built it myself. All I had to do was two things. Watch somebody who knows what they're doing. And then have my additional daddy explain acronyms. That goes back to my autistic traits. It's a hungry car. My autistic traits for imitating stuff. So, sometimes people say, wow, you're really talented. You can do so many things. And my brain just says, not really. I just imitate stuff. That's pretty much my one talent. That one talent can gather to itself so many more talents, because if you can imitate something, if you can watch somebody do something and do exactly what they did, exactly the way they did it, somehow understanding what that meant, that's the part I don't get. I don't fully understand how I understand. That's kind of like the neat part. I just automatically go, ooh, this means this and that means that. So if you're doing this and that means this and this is that, and okay, I can do that. So I build computers. I build motors. Well, I haven't built one from scratch, by the way. I would like to say I can disassemble a motor and reassemble a motor. That's what I can do, yeah. I can do just about any kind of construction work. You know, not certified, of course. But I know exactly where to put the beams. This beam with this beam with this beam was braced by this beam with this beam with this beam, and then this is, and then you nail it just like this, and you put the nail in, you know, a little bit of angle, doot, 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 doot. So you put the two nails like this and the one nail like this, and then your wall structure, solid, stay straight up. You watch somebody that didn't watch somebody else, and they just put a nail in, and they got like that, and the wall just goes, you didn't watch somebody. That's the first thing I was thinking. You didn't watch somebody do that, did you? This. You're gonna have all three of them. If you don't do that, not gonna work. So what else? Unlicensed construction there. Well, anything to do with a bicycle. If I could work on a motorcycle bike, you know, a bike that has a motor on it, anything with a bicycle, I take a whole entire bicycle apart. I'm still not sure about the motorcycle, you know, because it's a little more complicated. But I completely, 100% disassembled the moped. Because the crankshaft broke. So I had to take the whole motor apart. But then I thought, since I gotta go through all the trouble of taking the entire motor apart, why don't I just disassemble the whole entire bike? That was the most fun I ever had. It was like, it was all laid out on the driveway, you know. All the lights, the wires, the switches, everything was completely disassembled. Moped was all over the drive. It was like really wide. Normally it's like here, and then it was like, you know, the whole driveway was full of moped. And I thought, that was pretty cool. So I replaced the crankshaft with a working crankshaft, and I put the motor back together, and I said, well, now that I got the motor back together, I gotta put the bike back together. So I put the whole thing all back together again. And I drove it. So, yeah. That's my, pretty much my one talent. Imitation. So, that's why I have so many other talents. If I imitate other people doing stuff, then I get their talents. Their talent becomes my talent. Yeah, like that. That's pretty cool. That's why I had the job of a third-class petty officer in the United States Navy. Back when I used to think better. No, sir, I wasn't always this stupid. You think stupid people can be a third-class petty officer? No. Because I was the VPO and the BPO. A veg prep petty officer. And we call it living quarters petty officer. I don't understand the Navy term for that. Not gonna go there. That's too complicated to explain. A living quarters petty officer and the veg prep petty officer. It's two different jobs at two different times. Because you can't do both at the same time. That'd be silly. You can only be in charge of one station at a time. I had these 3 other guys. I tell them what to do. Hey, you do stuff. But I think I said earlier in the video, that was a long time ago. Woo! I was very, very serious. Very boring. Ever since I got knocked down to pretty much an 8-year-old, I got the brain abilities of an 8-year-old and the body abilities of a 2-year-old. So you put the two together, it's like you get a mess. What? How's that work? That doesn't really. But yeah, I used to be boring. I didn't laugh at anything really. I was very stern, very strict. I know that because sometimes I have these dreams where I can see stuff. I'm like, wow, you used to be somebody I'd be scared to be around. I was like, I scare myself. I see things totally differently now. Because I see things littly. Everything is little. That's why the whole world is fun to me. I don't care if good things happen or bad things happen. Everything is fun. It's all a new experience. Something bad happens, then you get to experience what happens when something bad happens. Like if you get hurt, and like if there made a hole right there and there's like blood pouring out, and I'd be like, this is what happens when blood comes out of my arm. It's not very pleasant. And then I'd be all like, I want this experience to end quickly. And once it's over, then you're like, wow, that was an interesting experience. I guess it was fun now that it's over. Wouldn't want to do that again. I've had different parts where blood was coming out of. It's usually extremely painful. Like when my hand was split open. That was interesting. Yeah, because the lid of the big can in the Navy, it went straight through there. Or it was like right, you know, had like stitches all the way across. It was funny. I thought it was a really neat thing though, because I had these people, you know, they look at your hand and they're like, oh, this is about your life and this and blah 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 blah. And then I thought, I have 100% proof that that's a bunch of nonsense. If this is how long my life is, well, it just got extended all the way over to here. Does that mean I'm gonna be 500 years old? No, that's not your lifeline. That's a bunch of silly nonsense. Yeah, because I had a wrinkle that stopped there, but now it goes all the way to there because it's split wide open. So, I could tell you for a fact that that's not real. Because somebody else could have that happen too, so you can't go by the lines on your hands. I know what lines on my hands are though. It's when I was very first, when I used to be a person, and I went, and as soon as I did that, I got all these lines on my hands. So however you close your hands, that's how you ended up with those lines. As soon as you close your hands, you know, they just ended up all wrinkled somehow. That's interesting. But I think they're designed to do that, because if they didn't have wrinkles on them, they wouldn't fold up very good. They'd be all like stiff. Hey, my hands don't work. So, yeah, they're crushy. But, seem to be reminded, yes, as much as I like making videos for YouTube and all this fun stuff, here's a subtle reminder that I better take care of that diaper situation. So, disabled people must do what disabled people must do. Go enable themselves. If you're disabled, can you just go enable yourself? And find the on switch. Oh, there it is. I knew it was there somewhere. Anyway.
I'm being silly again.
Wow. It's 1 hour and 21 minutes and 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. I can sit here and count this all the time. It's kind of cool.
Oh well, I'm gonna turn this camera off. I think I forgot to say goodbye. Bye! If anybody's still watching, thanks for watching hour and a half. That's like a TV show. You should get I watched an hour and a half video like a TV show medal. and then you can pin it on your hat. Actually, see, that's Armed Forces Expeditionary Service, that's Sea Service. It's any kind of wartime duty overseas, sea service thingy-mabob. They got 2 different ones of those. I was trying to, I think that this is just the Sea Service one, where you done like 200 plus days at sea or something like that. I forget. We was part of Operation Southern Watch and Operation Desert Fox. I like the second operation because it sounded cooler. They only gave me 1 medal though. Hey, I did 2 operations. Don't I get 2 medals? Eh. Anyway, they're just fancy decorations. Anywho. Yeah, Navy Unit Commendation Medal. Everybody gets one of those. That's like a ship thing there. Let's see, that was because I was in a operation. That was for my sea service, yeah. That's a ship. I had another one that's just for everybody on the ship. Oh, that's it. The Battle E. There it is, yeah. I actually earned that, though. I made that galley spotless. I might tell that story sometime, too. Yeah, that's the Battle Efficiency Award. Which you could also say, excellent. It means your ship is the best ship in the United States Navy. Broken up into categories, I think, something like that. This is the Honorable Discharge Medal. Ta-da! These, by the way, with the exception of this one, except where it's really small, these are commemorative medals. You don't get big medals and stick them on your military uniform because that's a ribbon, and that's not officially military uniform. And I got some more ribbons, but there's no room for ribbons, so I got like a few more medals and some ribbons, and I just wanted to have 2 on this side and 2 on this side, and then the Battle E ribbon in the middle. And then I got my old rating badge, which was, mine used to be a MS, but it don't exist anymore. They changed it to a CS. And then that's the job I used to do. 3rd class petty officer. And if you go in the Navy, you will find out, for some odd reason, this is called a crow. I still don't know why it didn't occur to me that I had autism back then. Because they called it a crow, and the first thing I thought was, what are you thinking? That's an eagle. What are they talking about? But, no, I guess a normal person would have questioned that too. I was just thinking. But, I was kind of thinking, what thought I had, the part where I follow and obey all the rules and the orders and everything that they said. I did everything I was told to. But then a lot of stuff I would just kind of question to myself personally. I'd be like, huh? Yeah, I didn't just like go along with everything. That's called a crow. That's your 3rd class crow. Ah! It's actually an eagle. I don't know why they call it a crow. But anyway, you can get you one of these. I watched an 1.5-hour YouTube video commemorative medals and pin it on your hat. Oh, that's the end of this video. Unless you want to watch an empty chair. But no, I'm going to turn the camera off, so I won't be able to watch any more stuff. And back here's my YouTube channel. Hey, check it out! It's really small. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. I push this record button that doesn't record anymore. It's start/stop. See, Sony's smart. They call it start/stop. I thought it was the record button. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's not the record button because I can stop it with the same button.